I married Lucas Song in my stepsister's place for a shot at a life of luxury. He was the city's notorious bad boy, literally raised by wolves. Ruthless, cold, and heartless. After moving in, I kept my distance. I was terrified that if I annoyed him, he'd have me torn to shreds by his pack. Until the day I accidentally shattered his prized jade Buddha. And a live comment feed appeared in front of my eyes. "You're good, sweetie. Go buy yourself a bag of chips. It won't really help, but it'll be a nice little treat for when he spanks you." Lucas, yes. It broke. It's beautifully broken. Finally, an excuse to get close to my wife. The jade Buddha goes crash now, and tonight, she's gonna get banged. Crash, bang, pop. The moment the jade Buddha shattered into a million pieces. I shattered, too. The massive crash drew everyone's attention. Heads popped out from all over the villa. The maids, oh. The butler, hiss. I was screaming internally. The Buddha was broken, but I was the one who was truly screwed. This wasn't just any jade Buddha, it was a priceless heirloom from the Song family, one of the city's wealthiest dynasties. It had been passed down from generation to generation, and now it was in Lucas's hands. Incredibly valuable, incredibly important. Lucas was raised by wolves from a young age. Ruthless, cold, and heartless. Would he throw me to his pack and let them tear me apart? The more I thought about it, the more terrified I became. Just as I was about to buy a one-way ticket to Mars to hide out for a while. A dense wall of text suddenly appeared before my eyes. OMG, 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 sweetie. What a beautiful girl, I could just kiss her and kiss her and kiss her. It's fine, honey. Go buy yourself a bag of chips. It won't help, but it'll be a nice little treat for when he spanks you. Well, since it's come to this, just remember, no matter what happens, your butt will always be behind you. What was with this comment feed? All it was saying were things that made me want to die. My face went pale with fright. Hey, stop joking around, you guys. Lucas, yes. It broke. It's beautifully broken. Finally, an excuse to get close to my wife. The jade Buddha goes crash now, and tonight, she's gonna get banged, hee hee. Just give him a call, see how he reacts. That was the only useful comment. I asked the butler for Lucas's number. My heart pounded as I dialed. 1 second, 5 seconds, 10, 20 seconds passed. I felt a wave of defeat. See? He wouldn't even pick up his phone. He'd clearly forgotten all about his so-called wife. Just as it was about to go to voicemail, the call connected. Hello? What is it? His tone was ice cold, devoid of any emotion. The second he picked up, the brainstorming began. Lucas, huh? It's my wife. My wife. It's the first time she's ever called me, I'm so excited, so nervous. He sounds cold, but he's actually grinning like an idiot. He has to act aloof to hide his screaming. I bit my lip. Lucas Song, I accidentally broke the jade Buddha. What did you call me? Still just as cold. Lucas, why isn't she calling me honey? Am I not her darling husband? Sweetie, he wants you to call him honey. I bit my lower lip. Honey was way too intimate for our current relationship. I couldn't bring myself to say it. I tried something else. Lucas, I broke the jade Buddha. The breathing on the other end of the line seemed to stop for a second. A few moments later, Lucas said, "Wait for me at home." I sat on the sofa, waiting anxiously. Every second was like sitting on pins and needles. I didn't believe a single word from the comments. What breaking it was exactly what he wanted. And what was all that about getting banged? Total nonsense. Just as my anxiety peaked, Lucas appeared in my line of sight. He was ridiculously handsome. His waist was ridiculously slim. His legs were ridiculously long. He walked quickly, looking urgent and fierce. Was he going to hit me? I clenched my fists. If he tried to get physical, I'd let him hit me once, max. I braced myself to be struck, but Lucas stopped about 10 feet away, motionless. I froze. Did someone take out Lucas's batteries? He knows you're scared of him. He's afraid that the closer he gets, the more scared you'll be. So he's stopping himself from getting closer, to make you less afraid. You have no idea how much self-control it's taking for him not to pounce on you. Don't be scared, sweetie, go for it. If that was the case, I mustered my courage and walked toward him. Lucas's gaze only lingered on my face for a second. Then, as if he'd been shocked, his eyes darted away to the shattered Buddha. His brow slowly furrowed. The butler had already collected the pieces of the Buddha's corpse, which now lay quietly on the table. I secretly watched Lucas's expression, my heart turning to ice. My voice trembled as I began, "Lucas, I didn't mean to break it. You can yell at me or hit me, but only once. No, twice, max. I only have $19.3 million left in my account. It's all yours." I was just babbling. "I'm sorry." Lucas's cool voice came from above my head. "If that's not enough, we can get a diver, huh?" My rambling mouth instantly shut. Lucas repeated, "I'm sorry." "Huh? It's not your fault. It's mine. It's my fault for not making you feel secure enough, for making you panic over such an insignificant object. It was my mistake. My negligence. I don't dare ask for your forgiveness, but please, give me a chance to make it right." Lucas stared directly into my eyes, his gaze filled with regret and self-blame. His words left me completely stunned. My mind was a jumbled mess. What the hell was Lucas talking about? This was the Song family heirloom, a treasure meant to be passed down through generations. "But, it's the family heirloom," I explained weakly, trying to make him understand the gravity of breaking the jade Buddha. "It doesn't matter. As of now, it's not. Lucas, I don't give a damn about some family heirloom, house treasure, or whatever. Nothing is more important than my treasure. I'm telling you, Lucas, you need to calm down with the love." Lucas called over the butler, who had been hiding around the corner. His tone was chilling. "Notify the main estate and all the other family branches. Within the next half hour, I want every single piece of porcelain antique collected and brought to this villa." The butler was as confused as I was. "Sir, what for?" Lucas shot the butler a look that screamed, "If you can't even figure this out, what good are you?" "For my wife to smash for fun. That way, she won't feel guilty the next time she accidentally breaks something. It's an honor for them to be smashed by my wife." Beep, is this guy for real? The family estate and extended family. Hey, Daddy-O, what does your little flirt fest have to do with our antiques? The butler, looking like he'd just eaten a turd, dutifully started making calls. I panicked, grabbing his arm to try and bring him back to his senses. "Calm down. Don't do this." But Lucas just stared at my hand clutching his arm, the tips of his ears turning a suspicious shade of red. I freaked out. I quickly pulled my hand back, but I accidentally brushed his lips. Lucas's Adam's apple bobbed noticeably. I freaked out even more. An hour later, a massive truckload of antiques was delivered to the villa. Lucas said, "Go ahead. Smash as many as you want." This truckload of antiques had to be worth at least a few $100 million. My eyes went wide, and I shook my head like a bobblehead doll. No, I'm not smashing anything." Lucas immediately seized the opportunity. "Fine, if you won't smash them, then they're all yours. You can smash them whenever you feel like it." And just like that, I became the owner of a truckload of antiques. I went back to my room in a daze. Why had things taken such a bizarre turn? Didn't this all start because I broke the jade Buddha? Did the Buddha break for nothing? Wait, is this right? Huh, the world of the rich. My broke ass is laughing. Can I have one? I'm not greedy, just one. That boy really goes to great lengths just to give his wife money. The comments scrolled by so fast they made me drowsy. My thoughts started to drift. My name is Mandy, the second daughter of the Miller family. I'm not a true Miller, though. I'm the stepdaughter who came along when my mom married into the family. A year ago, the Song and Miller families arranged a marriage, and it was supposed to be for my dear older stepsister. But the moment my stepsister heard Lucas Song's name, she cried so hard she could barely breathe, saying she'd rather die than marry him. So, I had to take her place. The Song family agreed. I agreed, too, but only for the $20 million the Miller matriarch gave me. It wasn't until I moved in that I realized I'd walked straight into a lion's den. This guy, Lucas, wasn't just metaphorically raised by wolves, he was literally raised by them. The Song family found him and brought him back when he was 7. His personality was aloof, strange, and untamable. I once chatted with a maid, who looked terrified to even speak of it. The young master has a huge wildlife reserve on the outskirts of the city. He keeps dozens of wolves in there. When a servant disobeys or betrays him, he throws them into the reserve. You must be incredibly careful around him. If you piss him off, you'll never know how you died. I started to panic. One night, I was walking in the garden when I heard a car door slam nearby. I looked up. The faint light shone on Lucas's pale face. It was dirty, and his arm had been bitten through by some unknown animal, blood gushing out. In that moment, he looked like a horrifying demon crawling out of hell. I completely panicked. From then on, I stayed as far away from Lucas as possible. I was never his first choice for a wife. I was terrified that if I annoyed him, I'd be thrown to the wolves and torn to pieces. My thoughts snapped back to the present as someone knocked on my bedroom door. Me, Mandy, it's me. I scrambled out of bed. When I opened the door, I was captivated by the sight before me. Lucas must have just showered. He came over with his hair still wet. He was only wearing a loosely tied towel around his waist. Water droplets dripped from his hair, tracing a path over his collarbone, across his abs, and down his V-line until they disappeared. A few scars crisscrossed his abdomen, but instead of marring his appeal, they added a wild, untamed edge. His pecs were so firm they looked like they'd bounce. So big, so big, so big, so big, so big, so big. Don't be so calculating, Lucas. Damn, she's eating good. Can I have a bite too? If I could get a taste, I'd even be willing to live in a mansion and drive a luxury car. My face flushed slightly, but I hadn't forgotten how dangerous Lucas was. Lucas, what is it? Lucas didn't say a word. He just brought out a thick stack of documents from behind his back. These are the deeds to my properties. Over 100 of them. These are the titles to my cars. A few hundred of them. And, these are my bank cards. I was confused. What's all this for? Lucas's eyes were full of sincerity. I went back and thought about it for a long time, and I realized I still haven't given you enough of a sense of security. So I'm giving you everything I have. I hope you won't mind that it's all I can give you for now. I know it's not enough. I'll work harder from now on to give you a better life. Is this a side effect of the broken Buddha? Aw, I'm gonna fight you rich people. Lucas Song, hands down, simp of the year. A million question marks swirled in my head, finally merging into one giant exclamation point. My mouth formed an O. You really don't have to do this. I do. I absolutely have to. I really can't. You have to accept them. After going back and forth for over 10 minutes, I didn't dare accept a single thing. Lucas left, looking disappointed. Less than 2 minutes later, he knocked on my door again. Me, Mandy, can I ask you for a favor? He seemed to have trouble saying it. My heart leaped into my throat. After hesitating for a long time, Lucas opened his WhatsApp QR code. Can I add you as a contact? We've been married for a year, and I still don't have your contact info. He sounded a little hurt. I breathed a sigh of relief. that's it?" I quickly added him. Lucas clenched his fists in happiness, spinning in circles on the spot. After a dozen or so spins, he suddenly remembered something. He looked at me, his eyes full of hope. "By the way, there's a party tonight. Would you come with me?" This was the first time I'd ever gone to a party with Lucas's friends. There weren't many people, just one friend. After Lucas briefly introduced us, he started hovering around me. "Me, Mandy, want a drink?" "Mandy, is the AC too cold? Should I turn it up?" "Mandy, honey." At one point, I went to the restroom. When I came back, I overheard Lucas talking to his friend. "You have no idea how much my wife loves me." His friend sounded skeptical. "How much?" Lucas made a TCH sound and started bragging. "She actually called me the other day. She's so clingy." "If that's not true love, what is?" "She accepted my antiques. She won't take them from anyone else, only me." "If that's not favoritism, what is?" "And she even added me on WhatsApp. We've been married a year and she's still so enthusiastic. She must be crazy about me. Also, she was willing to come here with me to meet you. When she met you, she glanced at you once. That was her asserting her dominance, showing her possessiveness over me." The comments exploded. "Huh." Mandy breathes. Lucas, "What a clever move." Mandy shows middle finger. Lucas, a ring. His friend's expression was a masterpiece of conflicting emotions. After a long pause, he asked in a low voice, "You say she loves you, but has she ever called you honey?" Lucas's triumphant smile froze. He shot his friend a dirty look, flustered and annoyed. "What do you know? She just likes calling me by my name. Tomorrow, I'm changing my name to Lucas Honey." I thought I was prepared for this, but clearly not enough. Was that a try not to laugh challenge? I lost. Oh my God, what has he been trained to become? Can I get a tutorial on how to train my dog, please? Train him? You people try to train a dog and you'll get bitten. Mandy trains a dog and he licks her feet. Meanwhile, his friend was inside, howling with laughter. "Ha ha 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 ha. Lucas Honey, for God's sake. Ha ha ha, you're killing me. I can't believe you came up with that name. Aren't you afraid your grandpa will climb out of his grave to beat you? Ha 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 ha." Lucas was completely unfazed by his friend's ridicule. He sounded almost proud. "What are you laughing at? What's so funny? Are you just laughing because you don't have a wife? A single dog like you will never understand the joy of having a wife. Sin. GLE. Dog." His expression was complicated. "You love her that much?" "Lucas, single people aren't worthy of speaking to me." I waited until they were finally done with that topic before going back into the private room. Lucas carefully watched my expression for a moment. When he saw I looked normal, he breathed a small sigh of relief. Then he secretly kicked his friend under the table. His friend took the hint, faked an alarm on his phone, and apologized to me, saying he suddenly had to leave. Now, the huge room was empty except for me and Lucas. "Mandy, honey, the irrelevant person has left. Let's just have the rest of the meal together." "Might as well, since we're already here." The classic excuse, "might as well, since we're already here." So the friend was just a prop. Get rid of him, and it turns into a date. He's not even trying to play it cool. Whoever said Lucas wasn't calculating? This guy is the most calculating man alive. I didn't quite understand how a 3-person meeting had turned into a 2-person date. We sat facing each other. The lighting was intimate. A sweet, romantic song played softly. One by one, my favorite dishes were served. Crawfish, king crab, sweet and sour ribs. Lucas put on gloves and meticulously peeled the crawfish. In no time, a full bowl of crawfish meat was piled in front of me. I ate it. A few moments later, another bowl was piled high. I ate that one, too. I finished 3 whole bowls. Lucas was still peeling. Was he trying to make me explode? I know he's fast at peeling, but did he have to show off for me? So I faked another bathroom break. As I was coming out, I almost got knocked over by someone. After I steadied myself, an excited voice came from above my head. "Mandy, it really is you." I looked up. The guy in front of me was a classmate from elementary, middle, and high school. He meant no harm, but he had absolutely no filter. Sure enough, the next second, he said, "Long time no see, old friend. I heard after your dad died, your mom remarried, and then you got forced to marry some psycho you don't even like." It was true, but he didn't have to be so blunt. I was speechless for a moment, about to explain. But then I felt a sudden chill run down my spine. I shivered. Yeah. I knew this guy. If I didn't just agree with him, he'd never shut up. He'd not only jabber on, but he'd also blow up my phone. I'd had the pleasure of experiencing that once before. Now, I just wanted to agree with him and get him to leave. Besides, no one else could hear us. Lucas was still waiting for me in the room. I couldn't keep him waiting too long. I'm not trying to be mean, but the Miller family is just awful. Why should you be stuck with the guy Chloe didn't want? Exactly. They're horrible. Mandy, be honest with me. Is your relationship any good? No, not at all. I knew it. I knew you two had no chemistry. You have to let me know when you get divorced, okay? I know a ton of rich, handsome guys I can set you up with. Okay, for sure. When I get divorced I'll definitely. Ahem. A familiar cough came from behind me. I turned around stiffly, my eyes meeting Lucas's from a short distance away. His expression was exactly the same as it was that night in the garden. Cold, emotionless. Like a wolf, ready to pounce and snap both our necks at the slightest provocation. A chill went down my spine. I had a feeling I was about to die. The comments were having a field day. Oh no, it's Lucas. Sweetie's a goner. Ha, Lucas heard everything. He just came out to find his wife and walked right into this. If I said I was just reciting a dream I had, would he believe me? Nope, definitely not. You better butter him up, or you're gonna go home and get murdered by Lucas. I pursed my lips. Time to smooth things over. I was scared. But I was starting to get a feel for how to handle Lucas. I casually walked over and naturally linked my arm through his strong one. Lucas, let me introduce you. This is my old classmate, Kevin Zhang. Lucas? I realized Lucas was staring, mesmerized, at the spot where our arms were touching. Kevin looked at me, then at Lucas, and slapped his thigh. Mandy, you should have said so earlier. Your husband is so handsome. Take it from me, with a husband like this, you should just drop the whole divorce idea. I don't know anyone this good looking to set you up with. Could you please shut your mouth? I didn't want to deal with him. Lucas wasn't dealing with him either. Kevin looked awkward, finally showing a sliver of emotional intelligence. Well, I won't bother you two lovebirds anymore. I'll get going. Mandy, text me if you need anything. The moment Kevin turned to leave, Lucas finally snapped out of it. His sharp gaze shot toward Kevin, looking at his retreating back like he was looking at a dead man. My heart skipped a beat. Kevin might be a bit of a motormouth with low EQ, but he didn't deserve to die. I quickly grabbed the corner of Lucas's shirt, trying to bring him back to his senses. Honey. Lucas's body jolted. He looked down at me in disbelief. Babe, what did you just call me? It was embarrassing, but for my own safety and Kevin's, I decided to keep the embarrassment going. Honey. The ice in Lucas's eyes melted like spring snow. I'm here. Babe. It's working. I rushed to explain. We were just classmates in elementary, middle, and high school. We're not close, we don't even talk. We just ran into each other by chance today. Also, I have no intention of getting a divorce. Can you believe me? Lucas stared into my eyes for a moment, then reluctantly grunted in agreement. Wait, he calls her honey once and the whole thing is over? Lucas, if you don't go to Mandy's room tonight, I will lose all respect for you. I suspect Lucas can see the comments, too. Otherwise, how did he manage to knock on my door right after I finished getting ready for bed? I opened the door. The comment feed went wild. Holy shit, he's really here. I wanna see something R-rated. Lucas, your little brother is standing at attention, now you need to stand up for yourself. I instinctively glanced down. I didn't see anything. Realizing what I'd done, I awkwardly averted my eyes. What are you doing here? Feeling guilty, my voice came out soft and weak. The tips of Lucas's ears instantly turned red, and his eyes darted around. My shower is broken. Can I borrow yours? A few minutes later, the sound of running water trickled from the bathroom. It's been half an hour, why isn't Lucas out yet? OMG, the clothes sweetie just changed out of are in there, do you think she'll figure it out later when she notices a certain piece of underwear is missing. Another 10 minutes passed. The bathroom door finally opened, and I instinctively glanced at his hands. They were empty. Not mine, not his. What does that mean? Is he leaving his dirty clothes for me to wash? Lucas walked toward me, step by step. I could smell his body wash on him, it was my favorite one. He lowered his gaze, his tone cautious. Can I sleep in your room tonight? I don't think that's a good idea. Lucas quickly explained, not that kind of sleeping. I just want to be in the same room as you. There's a thunderstorm tonight. I'm scared of thunder. I won't be as scared if someone's with me. As soon as the words left his mouth, a deafening clap of thunder shook the house. I jumped. Lucas trembled, his body swaying as his face instantly turned pale. He really did look scared. I was conflicted. The light in Lucas's eyes dimmed, and his tone was sullen. I knew it. You still want to divorce me? It's okay, it's really okay. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I'm just scared of thunder. It doesn't matter anymore. None of it matters. Just let the lightning strike me dead. It's not like that. Fine, you can sleep here. And so, I slept on the big bed, and Lucas slept on the rug. But when I woke up the next morning, I had rolled off the bed and onto the rug, right into Lucas's arms. My legs were draped over his toned waist, and my arms were wrapped around his neck. I was clinging to him like a koala in a very intimate position. I don't know if it was because it was so early, but I could clearly feel something in a certain area gradually waking up. My vision went black. I fell back asleep. The next time I woke up, it was to a frantic series of calls from my best friend. Babe, you have to help me. The problem was that her company wanted to interview Lucas. They had everything set up, but when the crew arrived at his office building, they were turned away and told that Lucas was no longer doing the interview. My friend's media company was constantly in a neck-and-neck battle with its rival over who had the most explosive headlines. If they could get an exclusive interview with Lucas, they'd rocket to the top and become the undisputed king of media. Left with no other choice, my friend came to me. The comments. Just got online, can a fellow commenter fill me in on what happened last night? Sigh. The screen didn't even go black. Nothing could have happened. It was just Lucas scooping his sleeping wife off the bed and into his arms. It's not that Lucas doesn't want to do the interview, he just wants his wife to be the one to interview him. I thought for a moment, then took out my phone to text Lucas. Before I could even finish typing, a message from him came through. Lucas honey, babe, are you awake? Awake. Lucas honey, I think I just canceled an interview. Was it for your friend? Me, yes. Me, she really needs this interview. If it's okay, could I do the interview instead? Lucas, honey, of course you can. Do you want me to come pick you up? Want boba? A little cake? Some barbecue? Me, I can get there myself. I quickly printed out the interview questions and rushed to Lucas's company. Before I even got to the main entrance, someone stopped me. You must be the president's wife. The president has been waiting for you all day. The Song Corporation was ridiculously wealthy. Even the lions guarding the entrance were made of solid gold. I stared at them with envy, really wanting to take one home. I made my way to Lucas's office, filled with a mix of admiration and jealousy. Lucas was leaning against his desk, a pair of gold-rimmed glasses perched on his high nose. Behind the lenses, the corners of his long, narrow eyes were slightly upturned with a hint of a casual smile. The collar of his white shirt was slightly open, revealing a sliver of his pale collarbone. His long, slender fingers tapped lazily on the desk, his sleeves rolled up to his forearms, revealing faint bluish-gray veins. He had the whole hot villain in glasses look. So handsome. OMG, so handsome, so handsome. Does anyone understand the sheer relief of seeing Lucas frantically dressing up after finding out his wife was coming to the office? He asked the employees, the special assistant, the secretary. He asked everyone until they were all confused. Ha ha ha. Lucas, I bet a combination of physical and mental temptation will be enough to win my wife over. I was, admittedly, a little tempted. I had to admit this man had me mesmerized. I took a peek. Then another. I couldn't tear my eyes away. And then Lucas caught me. He chuckled softly, got up, and closed the office door, shutting out the many gossiping eyes. Wifey. His voice was sexy, magnetic, and husky. It was so good it could make my ears pregnant. My face turned red against my will. Wifey? Lucas tilted his head. Why is your face so red? Is it too hot in the office? Should I turn the temperature down? He knew exactly why and still had to ask. The comments joined in on the teasing. Oh no, Sweetie's falling for him. Sweetie's falling in love. A girl's blush is better than any love confession. Big jerk. They were all big jerks. I got a little flustered and changed the subject. Let's just do the interview. We finally got into work mode. But I couldn't shake the feeling that Lucas and I were doing some kind of role play. Lucas was the young, successful, and noble heir to a corporate empire. And I was a rookie just starting out in the professional world. By some twist of fate, I had stumbled into the lion's den. It was supposed to be a normal work assignment. But then our eyes met, a man and a woman alone, hormones colliding. The documents on the desk were impatiently swept aside. Oh, my. Everything, whether black, white, or red, was turning yellow in my head. I shifted my legs uncomfortably, and my leg bumped against Lucas's. I only then realized how close we were. Way too close. Far beyond a normal social distance. I backed up, he moved forward. I backed up again, he moved forward again. I had nowhere left to go. Fine, whatever. I was too tired to care. First question, Mr. Song, what do you think? Lucas answered seriously, I think the first thing to do is to love your wife. Me, can you answer seriously? Second question, me, Mr. Song, what is your opinion on? Lucas answered seriously, regarding this issue, I believe the first priority is still to love your wife. The third, the fourth. An interview that should have taken an hour ended up taking the entire afternoon. I walked out in a daze, clutching the recorder and my notes. Lucas followed me. Don't you have work to do? I asked, exhausted. Nope. Skipping out. Oh. Well, I'm not going home today. My mom asked me to stop by the Miller's house. I'll go with you. Stepping back into the Miller house, my feelings were a bit complicated. After I moved in with them, I was never bullied, but I was never paid much attention to either. I was basically invisible. If it weren't for them needing me to marry Lucas in my stepsister's place, they probably wouldn't have even remembered I existed. Ever since I married Lucas, their attitude shifted from ignoring me to a subtle sense of awe. This time, it was even more exaggerated. Lucas stuck close by my side. My stepmother claimed she was sick and couldn't see us. My stepdad made an emergency exit to play mahjong, running so fast he lost a shoe. My drama-loving stepsister refused to come out of her room. Even their dog was carried away by a maid. Really? Lucas wasn't some kind of monster. Why were they so scared of him? I grumbled to myself, completely forgetting that just a few days ago, I was avoiding Lucas like the plague. I secretly glanced at Lucas's expression. Seeing that he looked unfazed, I breathed a small sigh of relief. Lucas caught my gaze perfectly, raised an eyebrow, and gave me a little wink. Why was my heart beating so fast? It's love, silly, you can't hide it in your eyes. He's just a love-struck puppy who only has eyes for his sweetie. My mom was also a little afraid of Lucas, but not as bad as the others. I could tell my mom had something she wanted to say but didn't dare, so I found an excuse to send Lucas away. As my mom and I were having a heart-to-heart, a shadow fell over us. I looked up. My stepsister, Chloe, had a look of pure annoyance on her face. Her tone was sharp. Are you two done talking? If you are, come talk to me. Not wanting to make things difficult for my mom, I got up and followed her out. Chloe snorted. You two seem to be getting along pretty well now. What's wrong? Regret not marrying him? It's not that I didn't want to marry him. Lucas is handsome, rich, and charming. What woman in this city wouldn't want to marry him? I was getting a little annoyed. Then why didn't you? What was with this tone, like she'd done me a huge favor? You think I didn't want to? It was Lucas who wouldn't let me. The day before the marriage was supposed to be finalized, he barged into our house with a pack of huge, ferocious wolves. They were huge. And vicious. 6 wolves surrounded me, my grandmother, and my dad. Lucas threatened me, told me to cry in front of you and say I didn't want to marry him. He also threatened my grandmother to transfer $20 million to you, and the worst part is, my grandma had to pay it all out of her own pocket. His plan was never to marry into the Miller family. He just wanted to marry you. I froze, my brain short-circuiting. The more Chloe spoke, the angrier she got, her words tumbling out. You have no idea, my grandma had nightmares that night. Ugh, I was so scared too. Every night when I close my eyes, all I see are those glowing green eyes. It was terrifying. He turned our whole house upside down, and then he wouldn't even let us tell you. Then why are you telling me now? Chloe put her hands on her hips, speaking with righteous indignation. Because I can see he's completely wrapped around your little finger now. You've got him totally under your thumb, don't you? You go home and teach him a good lesson. Like, don't let him sleep in your bed for 10 days or half a month. Give him the cold shoulder. That way, I'll feel better about the whole thing. So Lucas had his own little schemes. I admit, I'm pretty and have a good personality. It's only natural for him to fall in love with me. But threatening someone with wolves. Wait, is that right? Babe? Babe? I was so lost in my own world that I didn't snap out of it until Lucas had called my name several times. I came to with a start, a dazed look on my face. Babe, did someone say something to you? Lucas lowered his eyes, perfectly hiding the coldness in them. I subconsciously nodded, then shook my head. No, my stepsister didn't say anything to me. I'm just a little tired. Ha ha ha, the silly girl just exposed herself. The more I said, the more I messed up. I decided to just shut up and rest my eyes. And then I fell sound asleep. I don't know when we got home. I don't know how I got to my room. I don't know how I got into bed. And I don't know who tucked me in. I slept like a log. When I woke up and went downstairs, I overheard a conversation between two men around the corner. It was Lucas and his friend. His friend's voice sounded exasperated. I'm telling you, Lucas, you've really done it this time. Don't tell me you can't see she's scared of you. You've been married for a year. If she hadn't accidentally broken that jade Buddha, would you have ever dared to talk to her? Were you just going to secretly crush on her forever? You said she found out you schemed to marry her. You need to confess to her. You keep it bottled up, and she's left in the dark. What kind of situation is that? People have mouths for a reason these days. You're going to lose your wife, and then you'll be sorry. His friend was beyond frustrated. After a long pause, Lucas just said, "Yeah. I'll tell her later." After his friend left, Lucas walked into the kitchen. I quietly followed him. Lucas was cooking noodles, shirtless except for a pink teddy bear apron. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, he exuded a certain, doting, domestic husband vibe. Highlight, husband vibe. Second highlight, pink apron. My pink apron. Lucas sensed my presence and turned around. "Babe, hungry?" Seeing me staring at the apron, Lucas said without a blush, "I couldn't find any other aprons, so I borrowed yours. You don't mind, do you?" "No." "Ha ha ha, I'm not gonna mention the stack of disposable aprons in the cabinet that someone definitely saw. You just want everything of hers to smell like you, don't you?" The noodles Lucas made were pretty good. After finishing them, I looked at Lucas expectantly. Lucas kept his head down, clearing the dishes, his lips pressed together in silence. That night, Lucas didn't say a word to me. The next day, nothing. The third day, still nothing. The fourth, the fifth, a week went by, and still nothing. "Lucas, I hate you, you block of wood." I angrily pushed the matter to the back of my mind. That night, Lucas suddenly staggered into my bedroom. His steps were unsteady, he could barely stand. I rushed to help him. Lucas was heavy, and neither of us could keep our balance. We both tumbled into the soft blankets. He pressed down on me, his hands naturally wrapping around my waist. He slowly buried his head in the crook of my neck, his voice muffled. "Babe, I've had a crush on you for over a decade." Holy shit, the man is talking. He's using his words. "Sweetie, place your bets. Is Lucas really drunk or is he faking it? A man who's a little drunk is just acting to make you cry." I looked down at Lucas's not-so-innocent hands. I suspected he was faking it. "Babe? Babe? Babe, call me honey. I have something really important to tell you." "Ugh, say it or don't. I don't care." The next second, "Me, honey." Lucas hummed in response, lifting his head from my shoulder. His gaze was a little unfocused. "Babe, do you remember Clearview Mountain, 17 years ago?" I thought about it for a moment, then seriously shook my head. He cleared his throat and began his story. "I was kidnapped by my family's enemies when I was 2. They paid the ransom, but the kidnappers decided to kill me anyway. But they were amateurs, too scared to actually kill someone, so they just dumped me in the deep mountains and left me there. Babe, do you know how scared I was?" My heart clenched. I sympathetically patted Lucas's abs. Lucas's breathing hitched for a second, and he continued, "Unfortunately, I ran into a pack of wolves. But fortunately, they didn't eat me. They raised me like one of their own cubs. And then I started living like a feral child." I searched my memories. When I was very young, my parents did take me to visit relatives in the Clearview Mountain area. But I never saw a little boy who looked like a wild child. Lucas was handsome and distinctive. If I had seen him, I definitely would have remembered. I asked, "So when did we meet?" Lucas cleared his throat, a little embarrassed. "One day I was out playing by myself, and I saw you from a distance. And then I fell for you. I raised my voice in disbelief. You saw me from a distance one time and you fell in love? And started a secret crush? Lucas nodded, blushing. When the Song family found me, I didn't want to go back with them. But I thought if I stayed a wild child forever, I'd never have a chance with you. So I went home. It's a good thing I went home, or I wouldn't have a wife now. The comments were just a stream of question marks. WTF, I thought this was gonna be some epic, heart-wrenching secret love story, and this is it? This is it? Lucas, you hopeless romantic, I can't take it anymore. I don't care, I'm praying to God to give me a love story like this in my next life. Person above me, don't try to use this method to achieve immortality. Lucas carefully hooked his finger around mine. Babe, I never told you because I was afraid you'd judge me for my past. After all, I grew up hungry and cold with no one to care for me. I was a wild kid. When I came back, I got a lot of strange looks. People said all sorts of things about me. Will you look down on me? Sigh, even though Lucas is laying on the sob story a little thick, his life was really rough. I was silent. Lucas must have gone through so much. Just to get to me. I didn't look down on him. Not one bit. I hugged him tightly. My heart aches for you. I pestered Lucas to let me see the wolves. The moment I saw the pack of magnificent, powerful wolves in the reserve, my eyes lit up. A lot of the commenters were just as impressed as I was. Whoa, that one is so cool. Whoa, that one's cool too. Whoa, they're all cool. They were so cool. I really wanted to sneak one home and keep it in the villa. I wonder what they like to eat. Right, speaking of eating. I suddenly remembered the gossip from my chat with the maid. I asked cautiously, Lucas, do you throw people who are disobedient, useless, or who betray you in there to feed them? Lucas raised an eyebrow. Where did you hear that? That's what everyone says. Lucas put his head in his hands and gave a weary smile. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I would never do something like that. At most, I'd use them to threaten people a little. Like how you threatened my stepsister. The words flew out of my mouth before I could stop them. The silence between us was deafening. The next second, the ringing of my phone broke the tense atmosphere. The moment I answered, my best friend's loud voice came through. Babe. I have great news. We released the video of your husband's interview, and the response has been amazing. I was happy too. I'd worked pretty hard on that interview script, and it was great that it could help her. My friend babbled on and on, finally ending with, by the way, I have a little surprise for you, too. At the time, I didn't understand what the surprise was. When I found out the next day, I exploded. She had released the entire, unedited interview recording. I mustered my courage and opened the comments section. Again, I wasn't prepared enough. The comments were all ah and ha ha ha. The top liked comment was, turns out loving your wife is the key to winning at life. So embarrassing. I was so mortified I rolled around on my bed a few times, then jumped onto the top of the air conditioner, then bounced back onto the bed and did a whole calisthenics routine on the spot. Then my phone, in all its glory, fell into a crack. I think the first thing to do is to love your wife. I believe the first priority is still to love your wife. The third question, the fourth question. It was playing on a loop. A public flogging on repeat. Just then, Lucas pushed open the door. I instantly froze, so awkward I didn't know where to put my hands or feet. Lucas chuckled softly. That made me even angrier. I decided to strike first. Lucas Song, can you please have someone delete that recording from the internet? It's social suicide, it's so embarrassing. Lucas rubbed his nose. Ha ha ha, sweetie, is there any chance that Lucas was the one who gave your friend permission to post it? Lucas is so calculating, now the whole city knows how much he loves his wife. It was him? I was furious. I used all my strength to push Lucas onto the bed, straddled his waist, and wrapped my hands around his neck. You jerk. Why would you do that? It's so shameful and humiliating. I was nearly choking him. He struggled to speak. How is loving your wife shameful? Babe, I love you. I super, duper, incredibly love you. Meeting you was the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. My grip on his neck loosened. Lucas took the opportunity to break free, pull me completely on top of him, and lift his head to kiss me. The comments went into a frenzy. Ah, they're kissing. Young couples are so sweet, it's giving me a toothache. Since the story has reached this point, let's all type two numbers, 99.99.